Okay, what is a double displacement reaction? It is a reaction when two molecules exchange parts in which there are two or more types of parts, so not just parts. Because, for example, magnesium nitride has 5 parts, 3 magnesium and 2 nitrogen, but it only has 2 types of parts. So if it reacts with water, which also has 2 types of parts, then it will still be considered a double displacement reaction. Double displacement reactions also must not be redox reactions, meaning that the oxidation state doesn't change. Oxidation state is basically the formal charge plus the amount of bonds to a more electronegative element minus the amount of bonds to a less electronegative element. Acid-base reactions involve an acid or an electrophile, meaning it likes electrons, and a base or a nucleophile. When they meet, they will combine to form the closest possible molecule to neutral, meaning when the acid and base part cancel out. The term acid-base reaction tends to be based around water, with H plus being acidic, and OH minus or O2 minus being basic. But the same logic can be applied to other solvents. As you can see here, iron chloride will react with sodium hydroxide to form iron hydroxide, also known as rust, and sodium chloride solution. Now, technically, this is a precipitation reaction, but it has elements of acid-base since iron chloride is an acid. Now, it is important to note that using water as a solvent, water can't be soluble in itself, so hydroxide and hydrogen ions come together to form water. And if an acid-base reaction forms something else that is insoluble in the specific conditions, it will also precipitate out. A precipitation reaction is when ions come together to form an insoluble or poorly soluble material, in which case it will crash out of solution. A popular example of this is mixing sodium chloride and silver nitrate, which produces sodium nitrate, and silver chloride, which precipitates out of solution. But this can also be extended to include insoluble liquids, insoluble gases, and hydrolysis reactions. Take phosphorus pentachloride. When it touches water, it forms phosphoric acid and hydrogen chloride. These two cannot react back to form phosphorus pentachloride, so it will be a hydrolysis reaction. And technically, both of the products are very soluble in water, but since phosphoric acid is a potent dehydrating agent, the hydrochloric acid will be kicked out of solution in the form of hydrogen chloride. Now, to see if something will precipitate out of solution, what you need to do is treat all of the ions that could precipitate out as one unit. So, for example, when seeing if iron hydroxide will precipitate out, you treat each iron ion and 3 other hydroxide ions all as one unit. And if the concentration is higher than the fully saturated concentration under those conditions, in which case for iron hydroxide it's pretty much 0, it will precipitate out.